We're live on YouTube,
Yeah.
Rumble, X. I'm just now getting used to calling it X instead of Twitter. I know there's a big debate about what to call it. Some people are like, it's always Twitter to me. I'm going to go with a new name. And we're now also live on Rockfin. See how I stalled for time there before we got to
That was great.
Rockfin? Thank you.
It was great.
I
Hey,
appreciate
and
that.
real quick, Brad, everyone, tonight's episode is brought to you by dickpills.com. Are you a dick-bearing person who has a dick that doesn't get, anymore? Go to dickpills.com/propaganda report.
Don't go to that website unless you want some sort of malware to be on your computer.
Just getting people used to it, Brad.
I will say this,
Getting
though.
people used to it, Brad.
If the representatives of dickpills.com are listening and you're looking to sponsor a show, we just gave you a little bit of a sample of an ad read right there.
That's
So
what we can
contact
do.
us right there. No, that was when we were on WSB. It was a 3-hour show. It was 90 minutes of show and 90 minutes of erection commercials. That's what it was. All right. The politics of catfighting. Fani's big win and Biden's Morehouse speech. So I want to start the show today talking about something that happened last week. I think it was last Friday. Many of you saw it, I'm sure. 3 chicks got into a cat fight during a House Oversight Committee meeting. And without going into the details of the fight yet, I do have clips of it. We'll play them. I want to point out a couple of things. The only reason we heard anything about this House Oversight Committee meeting was because of this cat fight. This is modern politics. It's what it is. Who can get the most media attention by picking a fight with someone else? And if you're a chick who some think are good looking, others might say are butch, or vice versa, depending on what side you're on, then you are going to get even more attention. This is why the Missouri, what was she running for? The Secretary of State candidate, Valentina Gomez, whose ads I played a bunch of on the show last week. This is why they're going viral. Again, if you haven't seen Gomez's campaign, she's a 25-year-old running for the Missouri Secretary of State, whose campaign strategy can be summed up as, don't stare at my pussy unless you're prepared to come over here and grab me by it. Make Missouri great again. That's her campaign strategy, and she's going viral for it. Now, this incident last week in the House Oversight Committee, hello, Sam. Thank you for joining us. I see you there in the chats. It benefited all 3 of these House members when it comes to those who are already on their side of the aisle. Their supporters, no doubt, jumped on the bandwagon and attacked the opposition while supporting the candidate that they already support. And they all 3 probably got more donations to their whatever they're calling for donations for. They probably all sold more products. It was a mutually beneficial cat fight for the most part, except maybe for those who do not already religiously follow and support those 3 individuals. The person who is maybe not as politically engaged, who is the independent who might be fed up with it or might not pay all that much attention to politics at all, who might not want to vote, or who might only vote if you can compel them to get off the couch and go cast a vote for someone who's different, who is actually speaking to what they're concerned about. And I have a guest here today who falls into that category because that is who I'm interested in most, is the reaction of those people who either probably won't vote but might if they hear the right message, and how these types of incidences.
So it could be an important night for this person.
Good.
They're a gettable voter, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And I want to know with this potential gettable voter how they came across this fight and how it impacted them. And I mean, the reason I even thought about this is because my friend that I'm bringing on here, Justin, welcome back. You joined us the other night with Liberty Libations. It was a good time. And you called me earlier and you said, I don't even know who Marjorie Taylor Greene is, but, and this is where I want to start. You were on Facebook, am I right?
Yeah.
Tell everybody what you told me.
I was just seeing a bunch of posts that were like talking about her.
And you don't know anything about her, right?
No.
Okay.
Wait, so I think you told me, but I forgot. What does she do?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, MTG, right? Yeah.
Yep, MTG.
Oh, okay. That's who that is. What does she do?
She is a congresswoman from Georgia.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
So tell us about what you learned about
Yeah,
her.
so anyway, and they were just talking about like how like terrible she looked and like how like talking about her body and all this shit. And
You mean people you know on Facebook were posting that?
yeah, and then other things were just kind of like popping up into my feed. You know what's weird is I don't see a lot of my like friends. I just see like a lot of other stuff. But,
Like,
like
what
there
kind
was a
of
lot of others, just like
like
memes.
commentary, like different
Yeah,
memes and
yeah.
commentary?
Yeah,
So
and
was
it'll
it
be
one
like,
sided against her? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
And your
yeah,
Facebook feed is mostly made up of what? Actors,
yeah. Actors,
people in the entertainment industry.
Musicians.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, all that.
But
So,
a lot of local actors, actually, right? A lot of local.
but some people from like are my actual friends too. You
Right.
know, so like from back home.
Now, was anybody taking the other side of it, or was it just a bunch of people jumping on board to attack her body? Which,
Yeah. No one jumped in and said, "Hey guys, let's go high."
yeah, they're like, I'd like to bang her. Nobody gave that perspective.
No, there was just some funny stuff that was in there because like there was like independent things that weren't my friends that I was seeing, and I would like click on it, just just to see the
Yeah.
comments, just to see what people would say,
Okay.
and then like the first comment would be like this woman, she'd be like, "Ew, look at her, she's so ugly, and she's got such a butch body, and she's so
Did they use that
terrible."
word butch? I'm interested.
yeah.
They did. Okay, that's interesting
Yeah.
to me.
They love just picking up the same.
That's the talking point. Butch is
Yeah.
the talking point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
what.
so
Yeah.
Beach.
anyway, I just
beach
thought.
blonde.
I just started laughing because of like that. Like I saw the person who was saying that, and then I was like, I saw the person, and then I was like, let me click on the first comment just to see what it says. And the first comment under there was like, looks like the pot calling the kettle black here. And
Okay,
like,
so
it gets like 50 likes.
That's
you know?
interesting. So that is kind of a
Yeah.
defense. That is kind of you're saying somebody else has a butch body, but maybe you shouldn't be commenting on their body type
Yeah,
thing.
like so. Yeah, somebody would come up in and be like,
Maybe they have a balloon
like,
body, which is not, which is
yeah,
worse
it's like
than a
really,
butch body.
like, yeah, like you're hopping on the like of all the things to attack about somebody, like
What did that make
that's
you
the thing that
feel? What did it make you feel about this candidate? I don't want to, lead the witness.
No, it's just like when I just hear that stuff, I was like, isn't this like what you were like bitching about, like since?
So you
know?
didn't understand that she opened the line of attack in sort of a.
Well, that's what I was going to reveal in a second. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Oh gosh,
Yes.
I stepped on it.
Yes, yes.
I'm so sorry.
No,
But-
no. I didn't know.
So-
I don't know anything about any. No, I don't
Oh.
know anything about anything.
But it's
Yeah, no.
interesting. You have to watch the entire thing, and I haven't seen the entire thing. I have about a 4-minute clip that I'm going to play, and we can stop and go. Aram says, like Chris Christie commenting on how Trump looks. Exactly. I am not. I'm very open that I will make fun of Fani Willis and Stacey Abrams because I think they're both disgusting, because I think that they're bad. I think that what they do is I think they use Bolshevik
So
communist
everything's
tactics.
fair game, right? Everything's on the
And
table
that-
with a person
yes.
like that, right?
If somebody,
Sure.
people
I'm
who are
down.
trying to better themselves and who are like honest, good people,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do anything. Like it's these people, I think that are very much open for attack, and I would say MTG is in that category, but also MTG and like I said, these other two, this is a mutually beneficial attack. But what I'm interested in is like it came to you, and it seemed to you like MTG was the one who was getting the brunt of the attack, who I know by what you told me is a bunch of people who seem to be liberals who are just repeating the talking point that was put out there it was 2-on-1 against MTG. So she did have 2-on-1. She did make the initial kind of attack, but again, I didn't watch the whole thing. So there was another attack on
That's
her
true.
that was not about. I'll play you the clip and we can decide for ourselves.
Oh yeah, there was. You're right. She referenced something.
Either way, I don't think anybody knows, and I don't know, what the hell the substance of the conversation was even about.
As long as it keeps them from passing laws, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like he's putting money in their pocket and getting them attention. Yeah, but I don't even know what they were talking about. And I don't think anybody, I just know it was a House Oversight Committee that only got attention. You have to get into a cat fight for it to get attention. So let's watch the clip, and we'll see. We'll stop and start it. And we'll see if your opinion changes. Originally, so would you say just reading that, it made you lean, not that you would vote for any of these characters one way or another, but it seemed to me when you were talking that it kind of made you lean towards, I think I'm going to defend MTG, even though I don't know who she is, versus the other ones. Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, yeah, like I wouldn't even say defend. Like, I mean, if you want to make fun of her, like, go for it. I don't care, But
you
like,
better have a good body, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it was more just like the juxtaposition of like what was like the people that were saying it. Yeah, like
sure.
It was funny. I don't know. I just thought it was.
No, that's
funny.
A good point.
The day I weigh more than Stacey Abrams is the day I shut up about her.
Yeah, man.
All right.
The three of us together, probably.
We couldn't take her down, man.
We could not take her down, dude.
Yeah, we couldn't beat her in a fight. All right, can you guys see that? Here we go. So this is the House hearing on holding A.G. Garland in contempt. That's what it was about.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about A.G.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about. I
think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Okay, so that was the first shot there, but
no, actually, that was actually a little bit. She just raised the bar, or not raised. You know what I'm saying?
The one chick was saying, "Do you even know what we're here for?"
Yeah, she was calling her dumb. She was calling her dumb, and MTG kind of shot back, and I think overreacted, which was the mistake.
Well, understand, this is what MTG and this is what these other chicks do. I mean, this is how they got elected.
Absolutely.
Is by doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
And I say first attack. I don't know what happened before this. These things are so long.
But don't you think MTG could knock both these girls out?
She runs a CrossFit gym. That was her thing. That's why she has that body.
Yeah.
So probably.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm pretty sure she could take both of them on. Anyways.
Yeah. All right. So let's keep it going. Right. She probably could. It continues.
Listen.
Order, Mr. Chairman.
That's beneath
would
even
you
orders.
bring the order of your committee?
Order.
Please.
I love the guys trying to get control of the women. They're not going to do it.
They're just shut up. You're just going to make it worse. Walk away.
Point of order.
We have a point of order. Mr. Lynch, state your point.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to ask the parliamentarian if your conduct here in raising money in connection with this hearing is referable to the Ethics Committee within this hearing. Is a motion in order to refer your conduct and your abuse of
It's not a point of order.
Mr. I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to
AOC.
take down Ms. Green's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your
Move
feelings hurt?
her words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
Baby girl, I don't think
we are going to move, and we're going to take your words down.
I second that motion.
So right now, AOC's getting in to defend her sister. Mm-hmm. And she's trying to take stricken the words from the records.
Yeah.
She don't want that comment about the eyelashes in the records.
Yeah, you got to take it down. We don't comment. How dare you comment on another person's appearance?
Tom Ince says that she's talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene was trying to point out some corruption. Is that what you're talking about from the comments? I will let it continue.
So who will have to pay?
I love the men trying to get.
We're suspending. 1 second.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
This is it right here.
Who's
It's me.
Ms. Crockett?
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
I want to freeze it there. Just look at
Pretty
these
funny.
two men.
Pretty damn funny. And their reaction is hilarious, too.
Dang.
They're sitting there. I don't know how long, because there was a cut in this clip here. I don't know how much time passed, so I don't know how long it took her to come up with that insult, since she had a few minutes probably. This is like a comedic insult battle where you're sitting in the back of the room going, all right, she went there, I'm going to go here.
Oh yeah, I liked it. It was a good comeback.
It was. And
Yeah, actually, now that
It was
I hear
solid.
It,
It was a pretty solid comeback.
yeah.
AOC sucked though. AOC is like, shut up, AOC. You're being a dork. You're the person who reminds everyone that we didn't get homework.
Right. And
She's still hot, though.
I know she's hot, but she's so.
You should go watch her Instagram, Redroy. She does the, what's it called? The ASMR or whatever it is, where you,
Yeah.
she eats popcorn and shows her feet on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'll reiterate, it'd be a great sketch if you could have somebody who looks like Nancy Pelosi doing the exact same Instagram live feeds as AOC. Just disgusting. Here it is again.
About somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
He needs clarification.
A what now?
What now?
A what now?
Right there.
There she is.
What
On the
is
screen there.
this? What? This isn't real, man.
I know.
This
And
can't be
you
I
real.
look
love
at
it.
her,
She's so pleased with herself. I love it.
but it's not even the eyelashes. Look at the jacket she's wearing in Congress. It's like a
Yeah.
Michael Jackson jacket.
Those shoulder pads
Yeah.
are intense.
Yeah.
AREM says AOC feigned, the main point is
bad,
AOC feigned outrage over something superficial. Absolutely, because
Absolutely.
AOC's not going to let a couple other women in Congress get all that attention without her jumping in and getting all baby, because AOC goes Latino when she gets really upset.
Yeah. It's called code switching.
Yeah,
I
she
think
code
is what they-
switches.
She code switches.
Look how happy she is about her statement.
I know. I love
This
it.
is modern
I
politics
like
right
that.
here.
Yeah.
It is funny. That was a good
Yeah,
comeback.
dude.
I
That was
gotta
a
give
good-
it
that
to her,
was
man.
So
good.
it's
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
want to be a politician. You say this to kids.
What's her
You-
name?
You start
Crockett?
being. Her name is Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett. Why you gonna start following
Davey-
her? She's
yeah.
not a comedian, dude. She's a
When's she on tour next?
Yeah, right, dude.
This is it though. Learn to be an insult comic first, then you become a
Then
politician.
you become.
later.
Oh my gosh, man! You just giving me an idea.
What do you want to? What is it?
I'll just become an insult comic and then
Then a
become
politician.
Become a politician.
All right.
Dude, let's all do that. That sounds fun.
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's a
Hold on.
part of the.
Look at that guy there next to her. He's just
Dude,
sitting
what
there.
you want to be in the middle of all this right now?
No, this is the
Wouldn't
cat
you love
fight.
to just be that dude? Oh, what now?
I love that he acts like he doesn't know what's going on. I mean, this is what they do.
To find clarification on what quality.
Chairman, motion to
I had
strike
no
those
idea
words.
what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just said
You
this.
just voted to do
Y'all did it first, so you don't want to talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get
Okay.
clarification.
Look at calm down. Calm
No,
down.
because this
I
is
would
what
like to
y'all
get
do.
through proceedings.
So I'm trying
Hey,
to get
Miss
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Miss
games?
I can't hear
Crockett.
you with your
And
yelling.
You don't want
Calm
me to
down.
Be,
Can
no,
you please calm
don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all talk
Please calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene over here. Is that her brawl or is that a
Who's
tattoo?
telling her to calm down?
I don't know. It's
right.
like anything you say, the race card's going to be played.
Yeah,
At
I know.
this.
It's crazy. This is
Nick-
great.
Yeah, Nate says it's low impulse control. Yeah, it might be.
Sure.
Also, that low impulse control is what gets them funding dollars.
Yeah.
It's
for
what
sure.
this is what it's. they let
Everyone's talking
themselves-
about this clip.
Yeah, it's what is that a tattoo on Marjorie Taylor Greene's arm? We can see her brawl from the back of her dress, and either her brawl has fallen over her shoulder or that's a tattoo. I don't know which one it is.
I don't know.
It is funny though because all of these chicks are a little younger and they're surrounded by nothing but like 75-year-old men.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, dude, that's what I'm saying. You want to get in there and mix it up. You know,
Yeah, dude, we can get
Young
those
dudes.
75-year-old men looking
Poor,
at us,
poor
dude.
James Comer, man. He's like, well, now what is in it for y'all saying?
Which is totally going to be taken as this racist white dude doesn't
Yeah.
understand.
Well, he sort of. I don't want to keep stepping on it, but you hear him later, right? You know what it says later?
I can't remember.
He talks. He's deaf.
Oh, is he? I didn't know
He's
that.
deaf. He's like, no, I wear hearing aids.
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
That's
So all the
funny.
cross chatter drives him nuts.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
funny. That's not funny that he's deaf. It's
Yeah.
funny that he did. That's really
That's what's happening. Is he's deaf? He's like, what?
No, I really don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Could somebody rat down the insult?
Talk shit about her. Y'all gonna have a
Mr.
problem.
Chairman.
All right, Chair,
I know why
okay.
you're
Order.
acting
Chair
like
now
that.
recognizes
Not cute.
Ms. Green for 4 minutes and 21 seconds. 4 minutes. Let Ms. Green talk, and then I'll recognize.
But I move to strike her words for a second time based on her second set of personal remarks attacking another member.
Who? Chairman Comer.
Because you all cannot
I have an
seem
amendment at
to
the desk,
apply
and
the
this
rules
sideshow
of the
needs to
committee.
stop.
We have to do this every time.
Okay, I'm recognized. I'm recognized. I'm going to go ahead and start talking.
Look,
There she is. The men have lost control of this meeting.
Dude, she is ready to throw down.
That's her. Ridgeway, that is him. Look at the guy behind her. The guy's on his cell phone behind her. You see that?
I guarantee that necklace. I
eyes, dude.
guarantee the pendant on that necklace is a survival pendant, and she can use it for self-defense and some.
You know, she's got a number of hidden self-defense weapons.
Self-defense weapons
on her person. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
This guy behind her is the alien guy, the guy who promotes the UAP stuff.
Oh yeah.
And he's on his cell phone. He's like texting.
He's texting the aliens.
Yeah, or he's looking at porn.
His one eye though is like right on her. Like his one eye's on his phone, and then his like right eye is like looking.
Yeah,
right
his
down there,
eyes
checking her
act
out.
independently of one another.
Yeah,
Maybe
It's
he's
crazy.
an alien.
Maybe he is a UAP.
There you go.
Non-intelligent. I mean, it would get elected.
Yeah, his biological.
Like
matter.
he's got the biologics.
Yeah, the biologics.
And he is. There's no doubt. So I think they have positions they're supposed to sit in, which is like in class. You get sat next to somebody who you don't want to be sat next to. The number of inappropriate touches that AOC and Marjorie Taylor Greene have received is probably astronomical, if I had to guess. I mean, this guy's a creep right here. If you've ever heard him talk, I don't like that guy. I don't trust anything he says.
I know. Look, I don't know if you've noticed it. I have 2 hearing aids. I'm very deaf. I'm not understanding. Everybody's yelling. I'm doing the best I can. Can we not recognize Ms. Green and let her
We
get?
cannot because of the rules of the committee, Mr. Chair. That is what I'm trying to communicate in the present moment.
We have a Okay, what's the motion?
The motion is to strike the gentlelady's words for the second set of remarks, not the first, the second.
She
that
has
applied
no
to
idea. She has no idea. I think, Mr. Chairman, I'm the only one recognized right now.
We objected at the time.
Will the member state the words she wishes to
Yeah.
instruct?
She told me, or she asserted that I was not intelligent. These are the specific words. They're like, we can have it read by the clerk.
It was made immediately.
And it was made immediately. I am not moving now.
I don't think it was
I am not
timely.
moving
It was
now.
made immediately,
It
both
was
by the
made
gentlelady and by me.
Mr.
Guys,
Chair,
look.
it was made immediately.
It was made
and
immediately,
you said
both by
that
the
you would
gentlelady and by
return
me.
to us.
Guys,
She said, "You don't have the intelligence to talk to me," is what she said.
Wow.
See how lightly he tapped
See,
that gavel?
Dee's laughs is absolutely right. This is kind of like one of those indie sketch comedy teams that's terrible.
Yeah, he says it's
You
good,
know?
bad sketch comedy. It's like it's good
Yeah.
because it's bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, there's that too, for sure. These guys are terrible. They're so bad.
the chair recognizes Ms. Green for 4 minutes and 21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, what is happening with the ruling?
I object to the ruling.
We must object.
I mean, if you want to take it up,
No, they're having a whisper session, and that's it right there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more to it than that, but that's the only reason we know that happened, or that this hearing happened, is because of that cat fight there. That to me was not a real fight. That was this bitch is going to try and be the story here. I'm the story here. I'm AOC.
But I still don't have any clue. I mean, they were there to hold Garland in contempt, right? That's the whole thing.
They weren't there to have these girls rip each other's clothes off and fight in mud.
I know, it's too bad.
That's what I wanted to happen.
Yeah, they were there to hold Garland in contempt. I don't even know the outcome of it because this is the only. Nobody's looked past this.
I mean, we act like it hasn't happened before, but it's just hasn't happened in a long time, a long, long time. People used to fight each other in Congress.
They still do in other countries, Parliament in the UK, and we're getting to fists being thrown. I played a clip a while back of
The
I
dude
played it for you. The guy threatening the one guy to let's take it outside.
Yeah, the auto worker. I mean the.
It was yes, it was the union head,
union head.
and it was a congressional. I think it was a guy. Yeah, a congressional guy who used to be a amateur or a professional boxer or something like that.
Yeah, he used to do MMA.
And he
something
said,
like
"Let's
that.
go." And they like, "We're gonna go. We're getting to that."
Oh, yeah.
And it's like the we make the comparisons about politics and the WWE all the time. I mean, Trump has wrestled in the WWE or fake wrestled, but is getting the line between those two is blurring more and more.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend today, and I was like, man, if I had billions of dollars, I would start a 24-hour streaming network filled with porn stars and pro wrestlers just reading the news. That would be, you'd have a hit. And then claim that it's the highest journalistic integrity of all the other networks.
Yeah, they're wearing
just keep making their
their outfits. They're like onesies and stuff. And
Yep, they're wearing their
they're
onesies.
very serious.
Everyone's very serious.
Yeah.
We have a show like The View,
but then you could have, when you have the debates, they bring the opposite position on, or they pretend to anyway. Instead of it being like it is now, it's like when two wrestlers are trash talking each other, hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're breaking the set. You're going to have to build new sets on a nightly
because
basis.
the deep state runs everything. Let's just have fun with who we're going to elect.
That's true. So it was Senator Wayne Mullen. That's right.
That's
exactly who it was from Oklahoma. The guy who threatened the union guy to go outside, and it was. I mean, he was going to whip that guy's ass. There's no doubt about it.
No question about it. That guy backed down so fast.
So Nate says AOC is dumb. I would say that it depends on the frame that you look at AOC through. AOC, what I tell people is, especially I tell people on the left this, I say AOC is, because they love her, I say she's brilliant. She's just like Trump. And they get really upset about it. But I'm like, wait, she knows how to work the media like a fiddle. And she is able to divide people against her and for her in a way that drives her fundraising. Mm-hmm. And she's used that to get herself a primary spot on the news cycle, which is exactly what Trump does. So if you look at AOC from a legislative and analytical, so yeah, she probably doesn't know how to do any of that, but that's not what she's there to do. AOC is there to organize. She's an organizer, and she gained her position, and she was given the opportunity to run because she successfully organized people using these propaganda appeals. And so she is a good propagandist, probably a bad actual reader of legislation.
I think they just need good propagandists because, come on, there's someone behind the AOCs. There's someone. She's not influencing.
No,
policy.
AOC was selected to run by an organization that selected her because she was a good organizer. This is what I'm talking about with these protests.
That's so. They just need a good propagandist. They need a good public relations person.
Absolutely. And so that's what we always look at the news media as journalists and these politicians as people. I mean, it's hard. We know that they're full of it, but it's hard not to see them as the positions that they sit in. But that's not what they are. They're all propagandists who were put there or given the opportunity to get there because of their skill as a organizer propagandist.
Right, and I think the best ones, the ones that are liked the most are the ones that are doing it because I don't think they even think they're a propagandist. I think they believe in the mission.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true, though. I think they do.
Yeah, totally. So AOC actually had a quick campaign ad, which I haven't watched yet, but we can see what it was that she released. Just the timing of this is perfect for her. You get all this media. This is how it works. You get the media attention. You release a campaign ad. You drive money. Act Blue, you see the Act Blue thing there on screen. Let's see what the ad is.
Oh, gosh.
I will never walk away from this community. I will never walk away from our people. I was a waitress. We grew up scrubbing toilets in order to make rent. And they think we don't understand how bias and power and capitalism works? Give me a break. We live it.
She is not afraid to fight for the people of the Bronx. I love that.
We're going to vote for her because she really understands our needs.
6 years later,
None of those people
after
probably
the
live in the
first
Bronx.
cycle, we got a $5 million primary challenge against us. Still have never taken a dollar of lobbyist money. Still remain committed to Medicare for all, a Green New Deal, an elevated living wage.
Those are all empty things. Those are all, those are all
elevated living wage.
Yeah, no, that's what they use. Is this bullshit tactics.
Just give everybody $1 million and poverty is over.
Yeah, and so this is what I'm talking about with AOC and these other candidates. I'm sure they did the same thing. But this is a couple of days after that happened, and probably the reason AOC insisted on inserting herself in is she releases this campaign ad that has the caption of the New York primaries June 25th, and we need your help. This year we have one mission: to defeat fascism by building a new generation of Democrats and public servants who aren't afraid to take on Wall Street. So you call the attention to yourself through the controversy. Bam, you release a campaign ad with the link for Act Blue, which is another fraud organization that takes money and gives it to people that you might not necessarily think you're donating to. And she posted online, and that's the con right there.
So defeat fascism?
Defeat just generic fascism.
Generic here in the United States, or just globally?
Just here, I don't know. She did not make clear. So yes, when we see those things, those fights like that get so much attention, if this is something that interests you, I encourage you to go kind of pay attention to those involved, their pages later, and see how quickly it takes them to get that newest campaign ad out. So they all raised money off of this, is what I'm saying. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the con. So if you want to make it in politics, pick a fight with somebody, is the lesson. And you see that even in the Libertarian Party also. So speaking of where was I going to go to next? Okay. Hold on a second. Okay, so let's get AOC out of here. And Dana mentioned here in the chat, she mentioned these two, they're the Valentina Gomez of Congress. So I played all these Gomez ads the other day. And hi, JC, good to see you. Good to see you. And so what I did, because there's really not much background other than this. She's a 25-year-old candidate for Missouri Secretary of State, other than she used to be a swimmer at Tulane. And I found that her brother was a member of kind of a globalist organization, but it seems like the rest of her stuff has kind of been wiped. But she's kind of running this hilarious campaign where, as I said earlier, don't stare at my pussy unless you're ready to grab me by it type of campaign, and very MAGA. And so what I decided to do, because I was following her social media over the weekend, and she just replies to every attack against her with just they're hilarious, but
she's got a team doing it, right? It's not really her.
I don't know. I don't know if she's popular enough to have. I mean, she's getting popular enough to have a team, so it might be. So what I did was I did a search, a Twitter search of tweets from her that include. Let me find the exact words that I included. A second here. So to make sure I get it. All right. Yeah, so this is what I said. Tweets from Valentina Gomez, replies is really what I'm looking for, that include the words pussy or bullshit or fuck or weak or gay or balls or 69.24 or masculine or fag. And I'm going to show you the results here of what I got. It's a pretty long, I wasn't even able to go through all of them because there were so many search results returned. There she is right there. Make that a little bit bigger. All right, there she is. So that's her campaign we went through the other day. She called somebody weak and gay. Weak and gay is her most commonly used one. That's another campaign. Weak men create hard times, and the weak and gay don't faze me. And then she has fuck around and find out. That's the one where she told Hamas to come to her house and she carried a gun. And then she says, she's talking about, so she's wearing sunglasses in these campaigns, and the sunglass company made a post against her that she doesn't represent them. So she called the sunglass company pussies, who are about to get the Bud Light treatment, and it'll cost them more than the $124 their sunglass called their or the bullshit donation. So they're donating money to other candidates when people buy it against her. And then she says in another response that she doesn't give a fuck. She speaks the truth, and she calls them weak and gay. And
she's really trying to take this.
It's a 25-year-old chick, yeah, from I think she's from Colombia or something. I can't remember exactly.
God, can you imagine if her and AOC had faced off? I mean, they would switch to Spanish, and it would just go bananas.
We'd all try to figure out what they were talking about.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Absolutely.
It would be amazing.
And let's see, a few more here. She says, fuck the Matrix, don't be weak and gay. Be weak and gay. So weak and gay is definitely her go-to. She says she's not weak. And she says,
is that on the sign she's posting around town? Vote for Valentina Gomez, not weak and gay.
That's what all of her ads have that. She says that in all of her ads. And she's working out in all of her ads, which is why I make the comparison to the women who work out and are angry that guys look at them. She's not angry. She's just, you better be ready to take action.
Yeah, that's true.
And so then you have way to fuck it up.
She's going to grab you with her pussy.
True. If you're weak and gay and swallow you up with it.
Yeah.
Well, then won't be weak and gay. Then she tells somebody to have some balls and debate live. And let me get to the 69 one she did, because I saw that one, which is why I searched it. Let's see here. All right. No, that's not the one. So where is that one? I don't know why that one's not showing up here, so I'll pull that one up on my phone, because she does these overtly sexual comments as well, because she knows that it works.
So many of these. It's so funny.
There's tons of them. Like, you can keep going.
What is 69.420 per day?
That's the one I'm trying to find. At one
it's
point,
right up here. It's there. It's
do you see it? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So somebody asked her, that's not showing up in the search, how many marriage proposals do you get each day on average? And she responded by saying approximately 69.420 per day with fire. Okay. She's just blindly appealing.
So she's just, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, right. Just smoking weed, and then she talks about how she loves
smoking weed.
She loves toxic masculine men. So this is all, I'm going to start shit as a campaign strategy, like all those other chicks do. I think it's hilarious, don't get me wrong, but this is the strategy of modern politics.
Well, and I see a lot of the people she's responding to are definitely like, some of them are conservative leaning, but more like liberty-based people.
Right. Here she said, pardon my French, Mike, but fuck Ukraine. We should be taking care of our veterans, our southern border, and of America and America only. She's definitely like if Trump were a 25-year-old chick.
Yeah.
That's what she's trying to do. Yeah. So follow her if you want good entertainment. But I personally, I think that it's another case of I recognize an opportunity.
Yeah, it's not gonna last. There's no way that's way too extreme to last.
And how much is she gonna? So if she wins, I don't know that she has a chance to win. Either way, she'll be a commentator on Fox News, and she'll make substantial money off of doing this.
They're like almost like different genres of politicians, right?
Yeah.
Like she's definitely like hardcore rock. A little southern rock. Like she's probably like a little Lynyrd Skynyrd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
And AOC, there are all these different genres of politics. They're appealing to certain brands. It's interesting.
Then they're getting the data. They're recognizing. Whether they get the data from Twitter, or they're paying a little bit of money to one of these software programs that gives it, and they're getting those keywords, and they're just hitting it hard, or they're just sometimes you can just kind of recognize it. Right. I mean, she's basically modeling herself after Trump, except being a little more extreme because she's a Hispanic woman.
Right. She's pushing the boundaries because she's probably allowed a little more leeway.
Yeah, Stella says a whole lot of Ted Nugent.
Yeah, a whole lot of Ted Nugent.
With lipstick. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, but Yeah, so I think that she probably was put there. Her brother is like I said, he is. I can't remember what it is, but he was voted Columbia's Person of the Year for some of the work that he's done, which in some articles she's credited for. So it's a little confusing. And the organization, something like the Institute for Politics or something, that might not be the name, but it's something like that, is an organization that is one of those organizations that trains young people to be organizers and politicians. So she's kind of like an AOC of the right, I'm suspecting.
Gotcha.
Who's,
That's
who's
an
Crystal
obvious
Ball,
reaction.
Aram?
Yeah.
Crystal Ball's talking about Aram in the chat. I was just curious
Oh,
who that was.
I've heard of her too.
All right, so let's go. Just real quick, the Libertarian Convention is coming up. It's the end of the week. It's Thursday through Sunday. I am still undecided about going. I was given a press credential, so I still may. A lot of it's going to depend on if I can find someone to watch Edmund. I might take him with me. I haven't decided yet. But I wanted to highlight how they're selecting the people to be in the Libertarian debate this weekend. Now, this is not the Trump speech or the Vivek debate or any of that. This is the Libertarian debate.
Okay.
Where the top 5 candidates are the straw poll on the convention site. They're going to choose the top 5 candidates who have the largest dollar amount donation, which they can continue getting donations up through Thursday, May 23rd at 8 p.m. That's when it's cut off.
Okay.
And who seems to be in the lead right now, this is the page right here on screen, is Rechtenwald, who's got over almost about $5,555. And then you have Mike Termont there, the police officer and guy who's campaigning on on saying that Trump did the big lie, which you don't really need somebody like that in the debate, in my opinion. He's up there too. And then you have Joshua Smith, who's been on the show, who I think should be on the debate stage. He is in 3rd place right now. And then you have Charles Bailey. I'm not sure. I don't know really anything about Charles. He was not in the debate that I moderated. And he's in 4th place. And in 5th place, you have Chase Oliver, who Chase has a lot of passion. Chase debated fake Trump, and be interesting to see what he does when Trump is speaking, for sure. I wonder how they're going to handle all that with Trump speaking if they do not give these candidates an avenue to kind of speak to him. Toad is trailing a bit, a long way for those who want Toad to be in it. But if you want to support one of these candidates to get them on stage, unfortunately, the way to do it is to go to a presidential straw poll where you have to donate through that Libertarian National Convention. I don't think the candidates get it. I'm not sure. I think the party gets it. And Josh described it as kind of a pay-for-play thing. So I think it would be cooler if that money went to the candidates. Maybe it does. I just don't know enough about it. But, yeah, so if you're interested in that, go check out that website and support whoever it is that you would like to see in the debate. And, yeah, Mike Termont, just not a huge fan of that guy personally. Yeah, so, all right, get that out there. Yeah, I am. It is going to be an interesting weekend for sure. I don't know what you guys know about it, but Vivek is going to be speaking there. Vivek posted today that he's excited about the Libertarian Convention and that he's heard good things about it. He is going to be debating the vice presidential candidate of the Libertarian Party, which will be selected shortly before that debate starts. And the way that it works is I think the delegates choose the VP. So it's not like the candidate, the presidential candidate doesn't choose his VP mate. The delegates choose the VP and the presidential debate. So it's like the old school way of choosing. And so it's be an interesting weekend. Yeah, Nate, Rechtenwald, Josh Smith, Rechtenwald, Toad. Yeah, definitely. Toad might do some counter-programming, I heard, with fake Trump if he's not on the debate stage. We'll find out if that happens.
Oh, that'd be great.
So, Fani Willis got a big win today. You guys, Ridgeway, do you know who Fani Willis is?
No.
Yes, you do. Come on.
Well, you've looked at her sites.
Do you know what a Baconator is?
Yeah.
Baconator?
A Baconator, yeah.
From Wendy's?
Yeah. Do you know who the world champion is of eating Baconators?
No.
It's Fani Willis.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a district attorney of Fulton County.
Mm-hmm.
And she got a big win today. She is the district attorney of Fulton County who indicted Trump on the January 6th charges. It's one of the most bogus indictments you've ever seen in your life. She's super corrupt, and she's kind of the head of the Black Illuminati. She's filled the entire district attorney's office with that. I've documented that in many shows up to this. But she won her election today, and she won 89% of the vote. And the reason, yeah, I know it's a big surprise. The reason that is news, that not only she won, but also the judge on the case, McAfee, won. He won like 84% of his vote. So the trial can continue forward. Had either one of them lost, the whole thing could have been completely derailed. A lot of people think there's no chance that this happens before the election. I am taking the counter opinion because all of the motions are continuing to move forward despite the appeal to throw her off the case. And I still believe this is the one that they want to focus the attention on. And Fani, she upped her text banking over the weekend about her campaign. And I got a number of messages from her campaign. I don't know how they know my phone number. I did not subscribe to anything. Like a lot of times I will subscribe to these activist things just to find out what it is that they're doing. But there was nothing that I can remember subscribing to of Fani Willis that would have gotten these messages from her. But here's what she sent me: one campaign message where she asked for money, but unlike every other campaign text banking message I got, which asked for $5, $10, or $20, Fani Willis asked for between $100 and $500. Nice. And she asked for that money, and this is the truth, to pay for sandwiches.
What?
This is what the message says.
What kind of sandwiches?
If it would have said Baconator, I would have lost my shit. But it didn't. But it says, Brad, this is Fulton County DA and Democrat, no shit, Fani Willis. And she's personally reaching out to me. This was Sunday. And she said, as she heads to worship, she's reaching out to me for my support today. And then she talks about how she ran 4 years ago and how she's been under fire by these racists, basically. And then she says, now I'm asking for your help in winning another 4-year term to finish the work we started. Brad, with Election Day on Tuesday, this is the last time that I'm going to be asking for your help. So will you pitch in $100 or $500 to buy us 20 to 100 sandwiches to feed our hungry campaigners as they make sure we get last-minute voters out to the polls to re-elect Fani Willis? $100 to $500 for 20 to 100. I mean, everybody knows Fani's eating those sandwiches.
Well, she might have only sent the text to 10 people.
I guess so. The audacity. I replied, ask Nathan Wade for the money. Is what
she was on her way to church. She's like, who? Okay, Brad would pitch in. He'll
got
a good heart.
$500, definitely.
Yeah,
He'll give $500 towards sandwiches.
No, I replied. I said, ask Nathan Wade for the money.
That's true. Well, doesn't she? I mean, she could just go home, stop by her house, pick up some cash. She probably got some lying around.
And some Grey Goose.
Yeah.
Because she loves that Grey Goose. But that's where they're that's where we're at here, is that Fani Willis has the audacity to ask for. That's what
so
somebody
funny.
who's so corrupt does, is they don't give a she thinks she's untouchable in Fulton County. And here's a little bit.
They probably ran it by her the first time, and the first time it said
$20.
$10 to $25. She said
500 cash. Like, she wants cash.
Yeah, Venmo.
Yeah, Cash App.
And
Cash
add that extra 3% for me, because I'm instant transferring this shit.
Here she is here with her latest campaign ad she dropped last night.
Every time I walk into a courtroom.
That's a little bit.
Every time I walk into court.
She's playing herself as the victim for sure of a racist attack. Anybody who runs against her, they're racist.
Every time I walk into a courtroom, I am underestimated. But that can be a powerful thing.
Sexy music.
They never see it coming. 4 years ago, when I took office, crime in Fulton County was out of control. There had been a gang war going on for years. When George Floyd was murdered, that was a disgusting tragedy after so many other disgusting tragedies. Community trust with law enforcement was broken. The district attorney's office was completely broken.
No justice! No peace!
At every angle, there were problems.
Hands up! No shoot!
The district attorney's office was run by one of her best friends at the time, who was also a progressive, just so you know.
Hands up! No shoot! Hands up!
My father lived through many atrocities in the civil rights movement. There was actually a sit-in protest. While they were sitting at that counter, a white man spat on him.
He spit right on top of my head, and I could feel the tobacco juice just dripping down the side of my face.
So that's a made-up story.
Oh,
he could feel the tobacco. Her father was a Black Panther organizer activist. This is a totally made-up bullshit story.
Okay.
He could feel the tobacco juice.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of the Seinfeld episode where Kramer spit on the Yankees player.
And I was just so enraged.
That man was offended by African Americans being treated equally and having the right to vote.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not her dad.
Yeah, it's not her dad's sit-in.
Irie says, I realize that Brad is the kid from the Wendy's commercials. Makes sense now. Yeah, thank you, Irie, and thank you for the tip. I appreciate that as well.
I stand here on the shoulders of great people. My father and others, they fought and some died for the right to vote.
So I've read the congressional report on, it's like on the Black, it's not on the Black Panthers, but it's on like terrorist activity and stuff back in the 60s that her father is featured in, that talks about the bank account that her dad has with Angela Davis, the known communist, the first woman ever on the FBI's most wanted list.
Who had ancestors on the Mayflower.
Right. Who just found out she had ancestors on the Mayflower. Exactly. And how he had all these books with him that were about Black liberation now and the China Way and all kind of stuff like that. So they call him John Floyd Smollett. Exactly. A lot of people don't realize that Stacey Abrams, Fani Willis, and Jesse Smollett, they all grew up in the same circles. Their parents were all in the Black Panthers or the offshoot of the Black Panthers. I can't remember the name of the group right now, but it's like the something group for non-violent or something, which was actually very, very violent. And look, we have a guest that I want to pop in right now, and we'll get back to this. I want to let him get a word in. This is Libertarian presidential candidate Joshua Smith. Josh, what's going on, man? You look like you're on the road.
What's going on, buddy? I have been on the road for a week and 3 days now, or a week and 4 days or something. Yeah, it's been pretty brutal. Definitely missing my kids, man.
I hear you, man. You're heading to the convention right now, I'm guessing.
No, not yet. I'll be heading there Thursday. I'm currently in Ohio. I was in Kentucky, Cincinnati. I'm in Columbus right now. I was also in Illinois for a little bit, and
you're getting out there. You're spreading the message.
Yeah, it's the last leg of this thing, right? I mean, it's either at this point we either become the nominee or we go home.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with either. I definitely want to be the nominee. I think that we had I think we had the most unique opportunity to do some real damage to the political landscape. But it's really going to be up to the national delegates here in just about 4 days. So I mean, that's really. We've done everything we can do pretty much. At this point, we're just trying to get, involved in the debate, which I think is really important. I think that's where we'll win over a lot of the sorry, I just turned my light on. We can win over a lot of the delegates. It's up to like less than 1,100 people at the national convention this weekend. I mean, really, that's what's going to come down to. It's not like some big vote that everybody gets to take part in. It'll depend on how the delegates feel about who they want to be the messenger for this party. And, I believe that it's me, should be me. I think a lot of other people believe that too, but there's going to be a lot of mixed feelings there. So we got to get into the debate so that we can prove to people that we have the best message and that we sell it the best. And that's the last thing we can do. Other than that, it's up to the delegates.
So how do you get into that debate with that straw poll on the National Convention website, correct?
Yeah, so this is the first time they've ever done this like this in the Libertarian Party. I'm not a fan of it. I think it gives the rich, like independently wealthy candidates the opportunity to buy them their way into a debate for an election that, there's one guy on there, Charles Blay, and if you remember, he wasn't there at the debate that you moderated, but he's a head and neck surgeon who was putting trachs in during the COVID era. So you can imagine my feelings on this guy already. He in the first debate that he was included in that I was a part of was in Pennsylvania. He basically came out and started, running cover for the COVID regime and being completely apologetic for them instead of lambasting them and saying they belong under Guantanamo Bay like I do. And so I'm not a fan. I don't believe he belongs in our debate. He's got zero path to winning the nomination, but he's independently wealthy and he's got the opportunity to buy himself into the debate and knock out somebody who's been all over the country, who has delegates at the national convention.
Yeah.
So we're really trying to win this thing, and they only take the top 5. If we don't get into the top 5, that means that we're not in the debate. And somebody who does not have delegates there is in the debate, which sucks. Because, when it comes down to it, look, I don't agree fundamentally with Chase Oliver on a lot of stuff, but he definitely deserves to be in that debate. He's definitely a contender. He's definitely a contender for the nomination. He's definitely worked his ass off. He's been to all 50 states. He's going to have a lot of delegates there. And if he gets pushed out because someone paid to be in that debate, that's bullshit.
And they can pay for themselves so they can donate for themselves, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it this way, this guy could give $3,500 to him, his wife, his cousin, his aunt, his uncle, his daughter, his sister, whatever, and have them all donate on his behalf, because there's a max of like 3,300 or something like that.
Yeah.
And get into the debate, and we're grassroots. If you look at this straw poll right now, we have by far the most individual donors in the straw poll, by at least 35 donors from anybody even close to us, and I'm in 3rd place.
Yeah, we looked at it a moment ago, and you were in either 3rd or 4th, which it surprised me when I saw that other guy you were just talking about that I'm not familiar with.
Charles Blay, Dr. Charles Blay. Yeah, and yesterday we were in 1st place by a lot, and we were in 1st place the day before, and then we got past Blay, and he threw $1,000 of his own money in and passed us up, and then we passed them up again, and then now they're all putting money in again. So, I think these guys are probably willing to put about $100,000 into those things. I don't know if we can overcome that, but I know that here's the secret that nobody knows. Me and all the other campaigns have talked offline about making a motion from the floor to add a 6th podium. That would allow all the people that deserve to be in that debate to be in that debate. So hopefully we can get that passed. No one that deserves to be there is bumped, and all the delegates get to hear from the people they actually want to see. So
awesome. So what can people do to support this effort, to support what you're doing to get you up on that debate stage?
Sure. Well, if you guys, I really need people to go and donate into the straw poll. Look, it's sucking funds that we're going to need from the campaign should we get the nomination this weekend, which sucks, but we have to get in the debate if we want to get the nomination. I think that that's our clear path to getting the nomination, is turning the delegates through the debate. So go to lp.org. It'll be the first thing that pops up on the page. There's a straw poll to get your favorite libertarian candidate in there. Drop $5 or more and help us continue to go upwards. I mean, even if we're in 5th place, it gets us into the debate. We don't have to sit there and fight as hard. And I've made a promise to the other campaigns that even if I'm not the one who gets bumped out, I will help them make the motion from the floor to include a 6th podium, no matter who it is, whether it's Chase Oliver, whether it's Mike Tremont, whether it's Rechtenwald. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah. I will make the motion from the floor, and we have the delegate support on that already. So.
Well, that's fantastic, Josh. That's the kind of attitude that, for me anyway, that I like to see is that you're willing to go in for the ones that deserve it, which I think it demonstrates that you deserve to be up on that stage. I'd love to see you up there. I did, for a full disclosure, I did donate to Josh's effort on here, and I would encourage people to go to that site as well and to donate for who it is that you support, knowing that there are these guys who are just kind of throwing money at it versus the more grassroots effort like Josh and some of these others who, have, a lot of good candidates, a lot of good, I think, people who are far more down to earth than these big money guys, in my opinion. And I'm going to start researching Charles now. My mom had a trick out of me too.
Look at Charles. Charles is only a few hundred behind us. Yeah. I have 105 donors, and he has 26 donors. The guy's paying his way. Yeah, the guy's paying his way into this debate. And if we don't add a 6th podium, there's going to be someone up there that has no shot at getting the nomination, and bumping out somebody who does have a shot at getting the nomination and who the delegates want to hear from. So. So.
And for full disclosure, that money doesn't go to you guys individually, does it? It goes to the Libertarian
No,
Party?
goes to the Libertarian Party, yeah. If you guys don't want to donate to the Libertarian Party, I totally empathize with that too, especially after this farce. You can always go to joshuasmith2024.com and donate directly to the campaign. If we still have a campaign after this weekend, that's the money we'll be using to go out and get in front of the media as much as possible. So.
Awesome. Well, Josh, thanks for joining us and informing us about that. And stay safe in your travels. And maybe I'll see you at the convention if I am able to make it.
Yeah, come hang out, man. I love you to death. You know I'm a big fan of yours, Brad. You're doing great things, dude. Thank you for everything that you do, and I hope to see you this weekend, man.
Thanks, man. You too. Stay safe. We'll talk to you soon.
Ian Ridgway, thanks, guys. Take it easy.
Hey, see ya.
There you go. All right, that was cool. Unexpected surprise. Josh does
awesome.
Great work.
He's cool.
Yeah, I hope he's able to get on the debate stage. He's a good debater.
Yeah.
He is, I think, able to, at least from my experiences, he's able to react to questions, which not every candidate is able to do, because a lot of candidates react to the question they want to get asked instead of to the question they're asked. So it's kind of a trigger for a script. And I can definitely appreciate someone with good ideas who can react to questions in a down-to-earth way, which the Libertarian Party needs to reach people like Ridgway.
Yeah. Should he have called one of us a name? Would that have gotten your attention?
Yeah, should we have done a little Marjorie Taylor Greene type trolling or AOC type trolling? Perhaps. Well, I have a feeling there is going to be some fireworks at the Libertarian National event this weekend. Like I said, Ridgway, Trump is going to be speaking there. And you know
who Trump is, Ridgway?
Have you heard of Donald Trump? No, you have not. Yeah. yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love the other day when you had not heard it, when you didn't know who Ron Paul was the other day. That was so good. Which I think that libertarians need to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
People who weren't like in on the kind of Ron Paul movement, they were probably only exposed to mainstream media about Ron Paul that just tried to smear him.
Mm-hmm.
And they did not get to hear a lot of his good ideas. And Ron Paul, from what I understand, will be speaking on Sunday.
I was a Ron Paul fan.
Convention. Yeah.
No, I am a Ron Paul. His campaign, when he was running for president.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's totally great, yeah. And Stella says, can we keep the eyelashes out of it, please? Yeah, we will make no demeaning comments about anybody's eyelashes, Stella.
I don't know. I'm not making any promises.
Well, Ian's uncontrollable when it comes to eyelashes.
Yeah.
Let's you know what, we've heard enough of Fani's ad, but I want you to hear how Rachel Maddow here introduces Fani Willis in the little media tour.
Penis neck.
Old penis neck Fani. Oh, not Fani. Old penis neck Maddow. She does have a penis. I can't unsee that.
She looks like a penis wearing a wig.
Her penis
and glasses.
Yeah, her penis would kill in porn. It's very thick.
Yeah.
It's a very thick penis. And the headline.
Check it out, Ridgway. You're gonna love it.
You see that? You see that
penis
neck?
She's a penis with a wig.
That's Ron Jeremy's penis right there.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Jeremy's laying down underneath the table. His penis is giving a report. Here's
she
how
must work that neck out, man.
Did you know she does?
Yeah, dude. I know, right?
Did you know that
neck
she?
Ups.
Yeah, a bunch of neck ups.
Have you guys ever? Just imagining that now. Have you guys ever seen Batgirl or Batwoman? I can't remember what it was called. It was just canceled from CW. Ridgway, you probably saw it.
You have enlightened me as to it. I know I'm familiar with it.
So Rachel Maddow was so she was the voice of Gotham, the radio voice. She's an actor. They're all actors.
Of course they are.
Here she is introducing the wonderful Fani Willis.
Whether you like the Georgia criminal case against former President Trump or not, Fani Willis is one of the bellwethers for the rule of law in this country. Back with us now is the Fulton County District Attorney, Ms. Willis. Ms. Willis, I was interested to see in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution today, there were 3 Democratic state senators who published an opinion piece saying, quote, we are witnessing...
Is she a bellwether for democracy, by the way?
Yeah, for justice.
What's up, Grumpy Gnome? Yeah, absolutely.
For justice, a bellwether for justice.
Concerted effort by Trump and MAGA Republican politicians to cast doubt on the legitimate and strong Fulton County election interference case by attacking the prosecutor. It's an effort that takes advantage of every avenue of government power to which Trump's allies have access. Their goal, delay accountability for Trump's alleged attempt to illegally overturn a presidential election. This strikes me very close to my
It's
heart,
racism.
because I feel like this is one of the first times I've seen people standing up for you on this point. I wanted to ask how it strikes you. Do you agree with their assessment of what's going on?
Well,
yes, I agree.
As you know, let's start with the federal government
Grey
and Jim
Goose.
Jordan. Jim Jordan has time after time after time attacked my office with no legitimate
With
purpose.
questions.
Anyone who knows Jim Jordan's history knows that he only has the purpose of trying to interfere in a criminal investigation. He has now turned his tricks to he's going to look at grant programs, which I invite him to do, and we have complied with his subpoenas, but yet he continues his attacks to try to interfere in a criminal investigation.
So what she's talking about with the roping in Jim Jordan is there's a prosecutor oversight committee that has existed since the beginning of the year but had no power because of the way that it was created. It was created as a PR stunt to make it look like they were giving opposition that they have now called for giving a little bit of actual authority to. And so she is responding to this oversight, potentially having oversight of the DAs as racism.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And never mind that it is known among prosecutors and lawyers that these DAs, especially the ones that are elected and funded by the likes of George Soros and others, have just abusive, unchecked power. It's all about silencing questioning by calling it racism. I mean, this is identity politics at its core that she's playing, and it comes in at the same time as Biden gives his speech at Morehouse College, which imagine going to Morehouse for 4 years where Martin Luther King went, and you're like excited about your graduation, and then as your commencement speech, you get Joe Biden. Yeah. I mean, what a disappointment that must have been.
So uninspired.
There were pictures of him with Stacey Abrams and all of that, but this is just identity politics. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's more the same stuff. It's not serious. It's an attempt to prop her up as something who's legitimate and that questioning her abuse of power is racist. That's what Fulton County is. Don't get arrested in Fulton County is what I'm saying.
I mean, I think it's inappropriate for the DAs to get on a news program and talk about these cases and talk about things like this. Don't you think? Fani talk,
She's campaigning is what she's doing. Yeah. Of course it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
Just like it was inappropriate for her to go to that church on Martin Luther King Day and call anybody who questioned why she appointed the guy who did not have federal experience prosecuting federal cases.
Mm-hmm.
Racist if you question that. You had many other qualified candidates, yet you happen to choose a guy who's banging you and giving you all these the baconators.
That has nothing to do with it, Brad.
It's racist.
It's racist.
Absolutely. It's just the weaponization of identity politics. It's been one of the tools of those who are in power since history began. And I just wish that people who fall into the trap of it recognize that it is those very politics that are what hold them down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Joe Biden, his message to Morehouse was so demoralizing.
It was terrible. It was like,
it was demoralizing.
Well, how would you sum it up as, Ian?
Sum up, what do you mean?
Like his speech to Morehouse.
Yeah, well, he basically said, white people are out to get you. They're going to kill you. And democracy is over. But the future is yours.
What?
At one point he said...
That's what he said.
it's hard, something about democracy in a country that doesn't like you. I don't know. It was just, I listened to it a couple
believe
times.
he starts off with a giant lie about having hired nothing but Morehouse men to work in the White House.
Everybody in the White House in charge of him are Morehouse men, he said.
No, seriously, every day. No, seriously, every day. Every day.
That's not hyperbole.
That's not hyperbole. Every day, they're always telling me what to do.
You can see on screen there's Joe on the right. This is his introduction. My favorite part was how unenthusiastic his introduction was. I'll let you guys see some of that.
Yeah. These poor kids.
In January of 2021. Since then, he has remained steadfast in what he calls the fight for the soul of our nation. With the American,
which I will pause and say, the fight for the soul of our nation, the reason for his campaign run the first time was based on what he said he saw happened in Charlottesville.
Right.
Which the narrative around that, he saw Trump say there are good neo-Nazis. No, which never happened, which is a complete lie.
Never happened. He repeats the bleach lie in this speech.
I mean, it's unbelievable. His entire campaign the first time, and it continues to be, was based on a media lie that is easily disprovable.
We all know that bleach will cure the you-know-what.
It's just
I don't want to get this
crazy.
It'll take stains out of everything.
Yeah, if you have COVID on your counter, bleach will inject it into your counter.
American Recovery Act, bipartisan infrastructure law, he has put Americans on the track to prosperity while also fixing the nation's crumbling roads, bridges, and rails.
This guy, look how not into this he is. Here's some water, sir.
I'm almost.
It is a once in a generation investment in our nation.
This is his intro
of
to
Americans
Biden.
To work.
Look
I'll
at
conclude my introduction by calling attention to the fact that no administration in history since the inception of historically black colleges and universities has invested more in our institutions than the Biden administration has.
Look at Joe smiling there. Half of them aren't clapping.
If we look at his policies, it is very clear that those investments are not charity, but represent a clear view of the value and excellence that is embodied in these institutions.
This guy's falling asleep here.
President Biden is here today at historic Morehouse on these sacred grounds to share in this special day. Ladies and gentlemen,
He's getting ready now.
Please welcome to the podium the 46th President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden.
So that's a very weak introduction, and this audio has been sweetened because I listened to a number of them, and this is sweetened audio. They pumped up the clapter there. And
for sure.
You notice how he didn't say it's my honor? So they usually almost always say it's my honor to bring to the stage. They didn't do that here. Let's hear like maybe 30 seconds, a minute of his opening.
Sure.
Guys not even clapping back there.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. President Thomas, faculty, staff, alumni, and a special thanks. I'll ask all the folks who helped you get here, your mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, all those who got you here, all the way in the back. Please, parents, grandparents, all will help. Stand up because we owe you a debt of gratitude.
It looks like he's about to say
all the family.
A racial slur if they don't stand up.
Almost nobody is clapping.
I know.
That is not hyperbole.
Is that hyperbole?
A lot of you, like my family, had to make significant sacrifices to get your kids to school. It mattered. It's mattered a lot. And the friends of Morehouse and the Morehouse men of the class of 2024, I got more Morehouse men in the White House telling me what to do than I know what to do.
He looks like he's floating in a
You all
tank
think
of
I'm
water,
kidding, don't you?
like a fish.
You know I'm not.
He always says, yeah, he does. He always says shit like that. You think I'm kidding? He says this like a dozen times in this speech. You think I'm kidding? You know I'm not.
Making sacrifices to get your kids to school. It mattered. It's mattered a lot.
That's probably a
And
Secret
friends
Service agent on the
of
right.
Morehouse and the Morehouse men.
Oh, yeah.
Class of 2024. I got more Morehouse men in the White House telling me what to do than I know what to do. You all think I'm kidding, don't you?
He's
You
full
know
of
I'm not.
Name
The
them.
best
Name
thing that's
them.
happened to me. Scripture says, the prayers of a righteous man availeth much. In Augusta, Georgia, a righteous man once enslaved set foot for freedom.
I mean, this is a white man talking this talk. You know, this is not the person, when you know his history, who should be giving this kind of speech to
He
an
should be
audience of
talking
black
about
men.
corn pop.
I would have loved for him to brought up what he did to Corn Pop.
Yeah. What
Is
he
Corn
did-
Pop alive? I'd love to interview Corn Pop.
Yeah, where is corn pop, man?
Yes, he's higher than Hunter, says Grumpy Gnome. And Nate G says, if you don't stand up, you
That's
ain't
so
black.
funny.
I mean, doesn't it feel like the way he said stand up, it felt like he was about to say something aggressive if he didn't see a few people stand up. Let's give about 30 more seconds.
Story goes, he feared no evil. He walked through the valley of the shadow of death on his way north to free soil in Philadelphia. A Baptist minister. He walked with faith in his soul, power in the steps of his feet to glory. But after the Union won the war, he knew his prayers availed him freedom that was not his alone. And so this righteous man, Richard Coulter, returned home, his feet weary, his spirit in no ways tired.
It's
157 years
in no
ago,
ways tired story.
You all know the story, but the rest of the world doesn't and should. In the basement of a Baptist church in Augusta, he and two other ministers, William Jefferson White and Edmund Turney, planted the seeds of something revolutionary.
What was it, Joe?
And it was at the time. A school to help formerly enslaved men enter the ministry, where education would be the great equalizer.
What is that he said there? In ministry.
Yeah.
From slavery to freedom, an institution of higher learning that would become Morehouse College.
Okay, so he gave an intro about Morehouse College. You can watch that if you want. It's really an identity politics speech given by a racist person.
He's just whatever gets him those votes, man. Just so shameless. You gotta hand it to him.
So like he's part of the crime bill, the corn pop story.
I don't want my kid growing up in a racial jungle.
It's just the clapping from the live presentation of this. Denver says he's so good at enunciating, fantastic at enunciating.
Enunciating.
Right? Yeah, he would pronounce enunciating. And he's speaking. He's speaking down. It feels like to this audience that aren't the clapter. I say clapter because it's like when they, there's a stage production, stage manager, forcing them to clap. Maybe whipping them. Maybe there's one of Biden administration's whipping people into clapping.
Yeah. He's Mitt Romney's out there holding
Mitt
chains.
Romney. Yeah. Yes. You said you sent a link, Aram. Where'd you send a link? You sent a link to us? Well, yeah, this is so condescending. This is such a show, and I feel sorry for those students who spent 4 years there trying to, what a joke. Like, play me a speech of Martin Luther King for my freaking graduation.
Are any of those kids going to, how many of those kids are actually going to vote? Most of those kids are probably so uninspired and so demoralized right now, I don't think they're going to vote for anybody.
Yeah, I don't know that they will either. The whole idea is to shame them or scare them into thinking Trump is so bad that you should vote for this racist Biden or this drunk Kamala if she takes his place.
Oh my gosh!
You know who Kamala Harris is? Ridgway?
Yeah,
Kamala.
No, her.
All right, so Ridgway, I will show you. You probably don't know who Nancy Mace is, do you, Ridgway? I'm going to introduce you to Nancy Mace, which I tweeted, get Mike Johnson out of Nancy Mace's OnlyFans the other day. Because, quite frankly, I don't need to see Speaker Johnson and Nancy Mace's OnlyFans page here, which this is actually Speaker Johnson and Nancy Mace together somewhere. I don't even know where they are, somewhere in Congress. Look at her breast. I mean, what is this? Nobody's paying attention to anything else. Even if you're gay, you're not looking at anything else but those massive breasts that Nancy Mace is showcasing.
This is the future of politics, dude.
Yes, you have tiny Speaker Johnson who could literally play a game of hide and seek in her
What do you think she should
cleavage.
be wearing, Brad? You think she should be wearing a potato sack?
I'd like to see a bikini if we're going to go that far with it, honestly.
Right.
I mean, just go in a bikini.
Yeah, bikinis for the
look at this one
girls,
here.
jorts for the guys.
Like this one here. Why is Johnson even in the picture? Nobody's looking at him.
Yeah.
Get him out of there.
Get him out of the picture.
Just like all those old dudes in that when they were mixing it up in the, with
There
the
you go.
girls.
You
They
can
should have just got all the old dudes out of
Absolutely. Look at this one. You can even see her nipples through her shirt here. I mean, are you kidding me with this?
Yeah. Okay. That's also a lighting. There's some lighting going on.
Oh, it's the lighting's fault. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It's the lighting.
Ian is right though. It is the lighting, and
The
that's
lighting-
kind of like her shirt's crinkled up.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I'm not gonna lie. This is definitely an outfit that accentuates.
Do you think anybody in that
What
room
if he was wearing
really tight underwear? You can see his
Really?
balls.
Just like, yeah. What if he just had something form fitting right around his cock and balls? Totally form fitting, just there, absolutely shaped just like the outline of it.
He could be
resting inside there.
He could be wearing no pants and masturbating, and nobody would notice. We had no idea.
My goodness.
Like nobody knows what he's saying here because everybody's looking at those nipples. Is what's going on. Of course, the lighting there is not favorable for her upstairs. I will give her that. But Nancy Mace recently, a few months back, she got a lot of shit because she has become a Christian recently, I think, and she was speaking and she mentioned how she didn't say it directly, but she referenced how she was having sex with her fiance before she came there. And people are like, oh, they're upset about it. But I mean, look at Nancy Mace here. Like that, all I need. So if I get like a text message, all I need to see is like a zoom in of that. And I'm like, I'll give her $500.
Yeah. How many sandwiches do you need, Nancy?
She doesn't need any sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll make the sandwiches, dude. I don't care.
Irie say that Speaker Johnson's fully erect. Yes, he is. Yeah. Like, she looks very smart, says Nate G. Absolutely. Very, very smart. Grumpy Gnome says that Biden has done more than anyone but to turn minorities away from the Democratic Party. I completely agree. I think that he absolutely has. I mean, I think it was Ice Cube. Was it Ice Cube that was on Fox News talking about he was going to support Trump or something like that?
I think so. I don't know if he came right out and said it, but maybe he said. He said it fairly directly. I'm trying to remember that, anyways. But yeah, he pretty much says it.
Yeah, I wonder about that because it does seem like a kind of a flip is happening. So it's interesting. It makes me
I mean, I think that it's possible that there are a lot of black people seeing Trump. The double standard of our justice system is being exposed in a way that a lot of people have never seen it before, but a lot of black people have known existed and have been talking about for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So maybe that has something to do with it. I could just be talking out my ass.
No, I think for the public perception, it definitely does. But I just wonder, that seems like it is, I don't know, it seems to me like that was predictable. And I'm curious, I have a hard time believing some of the people behind all of this didn't anticipate that would happen, which makes me curious about why they would allow such a strategy. But maybe they're not as big. Maybe they're blinded by short-term vision in a way that I didn't anticipate. I don't know.
Well, I think Trump is also the kind of guy that no matter what you throw at him, he's going to turn it into a power. Like whatever weapon you're using against him, he's going to figure out how to counter. He's going to use it against you. That's what he wants to do.
I mean, Trump is good at that. It's just,
he's so good at it.
And I think in the modern media, what you're going to have to do is you have to just expect that every negative thing about, if you're going to run for office anyway, every negative thing about you that is publicly available, that someone else can find through opposition research, you have to just be open about that. Like, you can try to cover it up, but somebody will find it. But if you're open about it and you instead frame it in a way that says, well, this thing happened that might seem negative, but it's actually a reason that I am a good candidate because it contributes to my experience and my growth. I think that that's what you like. People used to be able to hide their backgrounds. I think we're past that, unless we just get an internet that's just so completely controlled that everything can be wiped. And maybe we're getting there too. I don't know. I just think that hiding stuff at this point is very difficult, and you have to be able to embrace. And Trump, well, I'm sure he's hidden stuff, but maybe he didn't want it to come out, but the grabbing by the pussy thing was spun in a way where, you know,
he said locker room talk. I mean, and as soon as he said locker room talk, it's like,
totally.
Sure.
When I heard it, it was locker. I mean, he was improvising.
But I think what people will say is they'll go, "But do you want your president to do that?" It's like, well, they all do. You know, they all have. He just got caught.
Yeah, so Grumpy Gnome says he can't wait to hear what Trump has to say at his second appearance at a LP convention. When was his first appearance at one? I didn't know he appeared at one before.
Oh, yeah, you know.
I think it's good. Grumpy, do you think there's going to be some heckling going on
Brad,
at this?
You know he did.
When? Oh my gosh, you're right. I'm so stupid. He appeared at the Georgia convention.
Yeah.
How could I forget? I was there.
Yeah, you were there, dude.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I did forget about that. That was when we saw, like, I posted the picture of Trump reading the LP Georgia flyer that inspired him to go to the national convention. I'm trying to get that Trump to come to Washington, D.C.
Oh, my gosh. I love that Trump.
He's a great Trump, definitely. So, all right. You guys got time for one more story?
One more, and then
we'll get out of here.
Betty bye.
Justin, thank you for joining us, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Justin, it's good seeing you, man. I don't see you enough anymore.
So I know, yeah.
I love bringing you on, Justin, because I think that me and Ian probably too, we're so kind of into the politics and stuff, and listeners, that I think we can lose touch of what people who aren't as into this are. And I do like to get your I actually love hearing your reactions to stuff, because your point of view is not as tainted as mine might be.
Yeah, if I'm sitting at a bar or something, and like all of a sudden a little casual conversation gets struck up, I inevitably start drifting towards this because it's all I ever fucking talk about with my
right. Yeah, no, totally.
And then people are just like, "Man, I don't want to talk about politics." You can just see it in their face. It's like, "Oh yeah. Let's just."
It's easy to be like, okay, everybody doesn't just consume this shit all the time. And,
I feel bad. I don't know.
No, like literally,
you
from
shouldn't
the
feel
minute
bad.
I get up.
I love that you like. We need that perspective, and I think that people who are campaigning need that perspective, because people like you are who they need to reach.
Yeah.
Most other people have their mind made up. So I'll give you guys a choice of what show we can, or not show, but article we can do, because I haven't really gone through any of these. So I'm going to give you like 5 articles here. You guys tell me which one you want. The Vatican updates rules on alleged supernatural phenomena, which they did the other day. Donald Trump rape scene in The Apprentice ignites Kane's controversy. There was a movie about Trump, and they had a rape scene. Which I'm sure was based in truth, of course. Not really. FBI was prepared to use deadly force at Mar-a-Lago. Joe Rogan's most unhinged interview yet. Terrence Howard's wild claims. And transgender booed after winning girls' track race. And then we could do another one of those weird OpenAI videos like we did the other day. Anything there tickle your fancy?
What do you got, Ridgeway? What do you think?
I want to the Terrence Howard Joe Rogan interview?
Great.
I've heard a lot about that.
Yeah, I watched a tiny bit about it.
Yeah, all right, let's do that one. Let me get it up on screen. I watched a little bit of it too. What were y'all's thoughts?
I watched the very
when you saw it?
beginning. The very beginning of what he said is so like.
Now I think he's a
stupid
good actor.
insane.
I like Terrence Howard's acting.
I think he's a good actor too.
Yeah.
And I think he was probably acting during this, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably.
Here's what I think.
A lot of times actors they think they're smarter than they are.
I think that's I do. I agree with that. So, but something that struck me watching some of this is, it felt to me like he was recognizing a trend that people think is popular, which is questioning the authority and calling out, like Cat Williams did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like with a public relations mind, recognized that if I kind of play one of those characters on my appearance, that it will draw more attention to it.
Could be.
Or he could just be,
could
crazy.
be just out of his mind.
Yeah. Here's the story. Joe Rogan's most unhinged interview yet. Terrence Howard's wild claims on podcast, from remembering his own birth to how we're about to kill gravity. And the article says, Empire actor Terrence Howard had quite the interview on Joe Rogan on the Joe Rogan Experience over the weekend, during which he raised some bizarre ideas about the universe. It says the 52-year-old Iron Man. I think he's 56. I think that's wrong because I looked his age up. He sat down with the comedian turned commentator for 3 hours, and even spurred Rogan to warn his 16.7 million subscribers this installment would be a wild one. Howard took the reins, taking his host down a number of strange avenues. This ranged from how he lost his job for refusing the COVID vaccine. Interesting. Was betrayed by old Marvel co-star Robert Downey Jr. and claims that we as humans are on the cusp of killing gravity.
Nice.
Denver says
we take gravity down a peg or two.
Yeah, Denver says Terrence is the guy that was in Iron Man 1 and wanted too much money for. Yes, exactly. And they replaced him by a very woke guy. So the guy they replaced him with, you actually frequently see wearing support trans kids shirts.
Oh my goodness.
I can't remember the guy's name, the actor. That's who they replaced him with. But the story he told about being replaced was that his agent said "fuck you" to the studio.
Can you hear still? My camera's doing that.
We can hear you, but yeah, your camera's frozen. On a great smile, I'll say.
I know, I love it.
That's a great smile.
That's a
But yeah, John Cheadle. Yes, thank you, Ian. You can pop out and pop back in if you want. We'll keep going through it. But yeah, so what his argument was that they called his agent and they tried to, take his contract down from multi-million to just 1 million for the next picture, and his agent said "fuck you," and then he never actually got to talk about it. And then he said he tried to contact Robert Downey Jr. to help him out, and he says Robert Downey Jr. didn't respond to him until 3 years later. And then he says it was messed up because he claimed to have helped Robert Downey Jr. get the Iron Man part or something in the beginning after Robert Downey Jr. got out of jail or prison. I don't know how true any of that is. I'll say he does look great for 56 years old.
Yeah.
It's going to keep doing it. I know what's wrong, but I can't stop it. Right
You can just make it. You can take your picture off, and you can just do audio if you want.
Yeah, you got it.
So he says, I was about 6 months inside the womb, he said, before offering.
Yeah. That was his first memory.
And I'm like, okay, don't forget I'm here. Don't forget I'm here. See that right there? That's not believable.
Yeah. I saw a comment on this video that when Cat Williams finally reads 3,000 books, he turns into Terrence Howard.
Well, Terrence Howard's his voice sounded like Cat Williams a little bit. I think that's why a lot of people were and just his wild claims. But so Cat Williams, at least there's like a line of logic through some of the stuff that he's saying.
Yeah, for sure. This is so believe all Terrence's.
Did you watch the stuff he was saying about the periodic table?
No, I didn't. I don't think I didn't make it that far.
Let me show you his periodic table stuff, and then we'll get out of here. Maybe so, like some actors, okay. So maybe he's not just trying to capitalize on a trend of speaking against the man. Which I don't know if Joe Rogan asked, because he talked about his new show Empire that he did, and you know who is a star in Empire with him? Jesse Smollett. Yes. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if Joe Rogan asked him about that. That would have been the first thing I would have asked him is, what are your thoughts on Jesse Smollett? Now, if any of you guys listening watched it, and Tom N says, believe all Terrence's, if you saw the whole thing, and Grumpy says, leave my wine alone. It's funny. If you saw the whole thing, and he did ask him about that, point me to it, because I would love to see it, but I would want to know what his opinion was on that. Because to me, that would kind of determine whether he's full of shit or not, what he said about that. But here is Terrence, talking about the periodic table. It's one of these things where it's like, you don't know. It's so out there that you can't really say, well, I can't prove that that's not true that he's saying.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me find a shorter clip than that. Terrence. He just sounds like somebody who's foolish. He sounds like somebody you see at Relapse Theater at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
All right, hold on. Here it is. Hold on a second. Get up on the screen. There it is. The new periodic table. And I'm not saying the periodic table is end all be all. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying I don't know if Terrence, what's his name? Is the fucking guy, you know? If he's the guy
I love your
taking that.
Sticker, dude.
Thanks,
dude. This is a blockbuster video.
What do you mean specifically?
Well, the way the periodic table is laid out, the periodic table they have now,
Let's see.
it looks like a box. It looks like a straight box. But they don't show.
This is stupid,
that
right?
hydrogen
Why would you
has
have a
the
straight
same
box
tone as
for a
carbon.
table?
Right.
What do you mean by
That's
tone?
dumb.
Same tone, same key of E. Same key of E. 40.5 hertz.
Like my question at first is why are his headphones? Why does he have a hoodie on and a wires headphones on over his hoodie?
Because he wants to look like a panda bear.
Next one would be like 81 hertz. You go to silicon, it will double up and would be 162 hertz. You'll go to cobalt, and it'll be 324 hertz. It's take the angles of incidence or the tones that they create, their color. Like you can turn color back into sound based upon, it's the same wavelength, it's just twice as long or much longer. So all you have to do is keep dividing light by 2. You keep dividing
Like
light.
you mean
by
like the
2,
light in my room?
and
So
you'll
how do I
always-
do that? How do I divide it by 2?
Yeah, how do you even?
What do I do? How do I start doing that?
Where's the like? How do you even ask a question about what he's saying right now?
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy is I kind of almost understand what he's saying.
Yeah, I know. You want to believe this. You want to believe this because you've done psychedelics. So, look, we all want to believe this. I think everyone here on this panel is dabbled in psychedelics at one point in their life.
Yeah,
and that's exactly
he's talking about the vibrations. He's talking about
it's all kooky. It's all kooky bullshit.
No, but the vibrations and frequencies and shit, that shit's real.
Right.
But like,
I get it.
He's not giving anything to help people understand what the hell he's talking about. So give me a base of understanding, so I don't have to swallow.
This is how the pyramids were built. Is through understanding the vibrations of color and turning color into sound by dividing it by 2.
No, if you keep
Terrence
dividing
built
color
the
by
pyramids.
2. Yeah. Yeah, at one point he says divide by 2 and he goes back and forth.
Divide color.
Keep dividing color by 2 or light by 2.
And you get light and color.
You turn it back into sound.
Ultimately get back to the audible sound of it, because there was a relationship between light and color, sound and tone, matter and shape. Walter Russell's periodic.
When you say rebuild,
All right, so it was a lot of that, and I think people watched it because it was crazy. And look, I don't dismiss crazy people. I don't. But what I ask of them is give me a base of understanding to help me follow you. And I didn't see a lot of that with the Terrence, well, whatever the fuck his name is. Terrence Howard interview.
I think every once in a while Rogan might get pretty high, right? Of course, and he might just it might be so kooky. He's just like, all right, I'm just going to let this guy talk, and we're going to dissect this later.
Totally. Dana says she also stands with Blockbuster Video, by the way. I think you're right about Rogan. And if I had somebody on like that, what I would do, of course, I'm not, Joe Rogan makes a lot more money than me, is I would go through what they were going to be claiming if I had an idea, and I would have questions ready to help me understand what they were saying. I don't feel like Joe did that very much.
We should find a chemist who understands Terrence
What if he's
Howard's-
right?
I was gonna say,
yeah.
He is a genius.
I just
And then they're
want
like,
someone.
you just divide by 2.
Yeah, I just want someone to show me how to divide life by 2. Because it sounds pretty simple, but then when I go to do it, I'm not sure what to do first.
Irie says this was to steer blacks away from the flat Earth. Maybe.
That's crazy.
Maybe. Yeah. No. So at one point he said he went on like a tirade where he's like, you got to divide, 2.85. I'm just making the numbers up by 2, and it gives you like 1.42, and then you times it by 2, gives you 2.85, and then you divide it by 2, gives you 1.85, and you times it. He just did that for like a minute and a half. He just kept repeating times and divide, and then he was like, and that gives you the light and the spectrum. And
This is why I quit. One of the reasons why I quit acting. I got tired of having to sit at work with people like this.
It's yeah.
They're fucking insane.
Yeah.
Well, it sounded like someone doing a warm up.
It sounded like that. It sounded like he sounded like an extra who you got stuck working with for the day.
Absolutely.
And that's probably who told him this. It was probably an extra who turned him on to all this.
He probably just repeated a monologue an extra gave him.
Yeah. Yo, T, let me tell you about the periodic table.
And he's like, all right, I'm gonna do this with Rogan. So what got less attention about his interview is he talked about the woman he says that blackmailed him, that the sexual abuse allegations came up from. And he says, he kind of brushes this under the rug, but he's like, no, I used to record everything. Like what was that old actor's name? What's his name?
I don't know. You got to give me more than that.
Marlon. What the fuck
Marlon Brando?
Yes, Marlon Brando. Brandy.
Oh,
Marlon Brando.
I was like,
Brandy.
Yes, that was his trans name, Marlon Brandy.
Marlon Brandy.
Yes. Marlon Brando, he's like, Brando used to record everything he said, to like protect himself. He's like, I had cameras all about my house, and I recorded everything. So he's like, if you in a relationship with me, I recorded everything. I recorded if we had sex, I recorded it. If we on a phone call, I recorded everything. My mother was dying, and I recorded all our conversations. So he just races by the fact that he used to record his girlfriends and him having sex without them knowing about it. Races past that, and then he goes, and then this one woman, one day she was trying to tell me that she said, hey, I can put your recordings of your mom, you and your mom, her last time, I can put them on your computer, and you can turn them into disc and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. And then he goes, and then I go in there, and she's taken all of my stuff, and she's put it all on the computer, and I told her to delete that shit. And he said that woman blackmailed him because she saw all the recordings of him having sex with people, which kind of is like, yeah, maybe that's a line of questioning to go down, is that.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brent Brando.
Brent Brando, a great actor, says Dana.
Yeah.
Brent Brando.
Oh, Brent Brando.
Aaron says she thinks she's talking about weight of elements and similarities between elements that have mathematical correlations. That's the thing. I don't know, and I would like to know. That's why I wish he would have given a better base of understanding to make that link. Is if you're a physicist who understands this stuff, you can't start at the level of a physicist. It's like, I'm stupid. Like, start the common person understanding, and I feel like he kind of dove into the I'm a weird actor persona. That's what I felt like.
I think you're probably right about that.
Yeah, for sure.
But all right, well, Ridgeway, Ian, was there anything you'd like any parting words?
No, I was looking for this damn Brando movie that I was gonna recommend, but I'm not seeing it right now. He came out with something. Free Money. That's what you need to see. It came out in '98. If you're looking for a fun, interesting Brando movie, that's got what's that name? The actor who played Lowell in Wings.
Oh, he's awesome. I can't remember his name. I loved Wings.
I can't remember. He's got an interesting
He's
name.
in Spider-Man also as a villain.
Yeah. So, Free Money, super fun movie. Highly recommend it. I watched it 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
Like,
all right.
As soon as it was over, I said, "Oh my God, I got to see this again."
All
Free
right,
Money.
check that out. Ridgeway, is there any bars you'd like to direct people to?
No.
All right, fantastic. Thank you guys.
Fantastic. Good job, Ridgeway.
Thank you guys for watching. And we'll do it again later this week. We'll talk to you next time. Have a fantastic. I agree. Color Arts Frequency. I just want more. Like that. All intrigues me.
Yeah, and don't forget to divide light by 2, everybody.
Yes, I just want more. Maybe that's his idea. Maybe he wants people to research.
This one comment is right. That convo needed Eric Weinstein in the room.
That's so true.
He would have figured
that
it
is
out.
So true.
Right,
he would have had it all, figured out.
All right, we'll end it on that. We'll talk to you
All
guys
right.
next time. Have a
Bye.
fantastic rest of your day.